With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet?
But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow. So now we're in a situation where no one in the public is going to be able to see those freak-offs. They will have privacy screens, the jurors will, on their computers, on their monitors in front of them. They will be the only ones that get to view that. The direct examination has begun already.
Things just got wild in the courtroom, and fans are now asking, did Jay-Z take out Pimp C to protect Beyoncé? Yep, you heard that right. A secret recording allegedly made by Pimp C is now being brought up in court. Insiders claim this tape could reveal everything, from steamy secrets with Beyoncé to shady moves by both Jay-Z and Diddy. If the rumors are true, that tape might be the real reason Pimp C turned up dead. Apparently, the tape features him and Bey. And if Pimp did make a tape with Bey, there's no way Jay would have stayed quiet for years. Fans have whispered for a long time about what really happened in that hotel room, but now with the feds stepping in, it looks like we're finally going to get answers to what really happened. Is there any truth to the rumors? And did Jay really take out Pimp? Let's find out. Reports are saying the feds are planning to play Pimp C's secret tape during the trial to possibly implicate Diddy's friends Jay-Z and Beyoncé. For years, rumors have spread that Pimp C and Beyoncé were getting it on in the bedroom. Pimp and Ken basically confirmed the tape existed in an interview. According to them, it was a big deal, and TMZ would have definitely opened their wallet for it.
You had mentioned Pimp C earlier. With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet? You look like you done seen it, Marvin. You done seen it. Marvin seen it.
Tell him who it is.
Hey, man, tell him who it is. We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick. There was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he had a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do some of the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they went to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape.
First, Pimpin' didn't seem like he wanted to give any details. He said he wanted to respect Pimp C's wishes and keep things private. However, he confirmed that he had in fact seen the tape.
Yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
When the interviewer pushed him for more details, Pimpin' dropped some hints about who was in the video. According to him, the tape featured one of the biggest R&B chicks in the world. She was in the studio when the recording happened, but Pimp C wasn't in the tape.
What was it a decent tape, by the way?
Well, you know, we was sitting at his mama's house, and I was showing him my movie that was yet to come out, Pimpology. And so he said, Ken, I got something to show you, man. So he seen it, you know, I'm saying, man, you know, we coming from the P world, you know, I ain't trying to see no.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I seen what it was. I was like, damn, her? I said, man, she R&B, ain't she? You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
I said, him? I said, man, he married and he got a bank. You know what I'm saying? I said, I hope this don't get out. So it was more like that with me. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it wasn't no real, like, tape. They was just getting their freak on. You know what I'm saying?
In the studio.
In the studio. And Pimp just had a camcorder. He was in the booth.
So based on who Pimp was hanging out with back then and the hints Pimpin' gave, it wasn't hard for people to figure out who he was talking about. It was none other than Queen Bey herself. At first, folks didn't pay much attention to what Pimpin' was saying. But now, fans are realizing that he was telling the truth. And honestly, it's not surprising. According to one fan, Bey's parents pimped her out for money but hid behind Southern religion for years. It's no surprise that the cycle is continuing.
She was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough, because she just started all the girls.
Besides Bun B, the other half of UGK revealed that Jay was actually jealous of Pimp C. One time, Pimp and Bey were in the studio together, and Jay called to ask who was there and what Bey was wearing.
None of us have ever really been this close to her as the full-fledged superstar that she is now. I think this is during the scene with the chair. So it's like her and several other girls, and they all have these short skirts on or dresses, whatever, and they're all dancing seductively on the chair. They've got a leg up on the chair so you can kind of see the thigh, maybe a little bit of butt if you're staring hard enough. And Jay-Z calls and talks to one of her assistants. If I had to guess, it would be her cousin Angie that he would have talked to, because Angie has always been the right hand to Beyonce. And he's like, yeah, how's the video going? Oh, it's going good. Or, are the guys there? Yeah, they're there. You know, it's them and some of their homies. And we're the only, all of the guys that are with us are the only men there. And, well, let's say this. There were other men there, but they weren't straight.
Sure.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing?
When Jay found out she was wearing a skimpy outfit, he asked the men to leave the studio right away. So Pimp and the others were sent to their dressing rooms. Later, Bey came over to apologize, saying that Jay was not comfortable with her dancing in front of other men.
They described the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video. And so I guess Beyonce gets wind of the call. She comes up, and she apologizes to us for having to, I'm so sorry you guys had to leave the room, but Jay's not comfortable.
It's safe to say Jay probably had nightmares about Pimp stealing his woman, but that wasn't even his biggest problem. According to Bun B, Bey's father Matthew once asked Pimp to take Bey out for a good time, if you get what we mean. This was before Destiny's Child became famous. UGK and the girl group were in the same building recording when Pimp stopped by to say hi. Bey was surprised. She wasn't famous back then. But it looks like her dad saw how they interacted and tried to take advantage of the moment.
So there's a lot of our guys in there. There's a shit ton of Rap-A-Lot guys in the building. And Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio. And so Pimp goes in, they're like, Destiny's Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. He goes in, he introduces himself, and I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was meeting Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio, and we're recording and hanging out, and Matthew Knowles comes in, and he asks, Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in, and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't fuck his daughter, man.
Parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
I have this theory that's bigger than just Pimp C.
In another interview, Too Short said, I can't believe it's 10 years and I have never till this day been able to accept the circumstances. He pointed out how weird it is that celebrities keep dying in hotel rooms, always alone. He said, what the hell is going on with celebrities and hotel rooms? Then he mentioned the 27 Club, a group of famous musicians who died at 27. For those who don't know, the 27 Club is this strange idea that musicians are often targeted at that age. And it's not just a rumor. Look at what happened to Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, and Jimi Hendrix, so Too Short's comments raised even more questions. In Hollywood, it wouldn't be the first time someone was taken out like this. There are many ways to make a death look accidental. Fans have pointed out strange things in other cases too. Kim Porter's pneumonia, Prince's overdose, and DMX's sudden passing. In all those cases, people think there were signs of a cover-up. But just like with Pimp, everything was buried and the real people got away with it, but not this time. Pimp's tape will be aired to a jury, and the feds might finally look into the case. And guess what? They're looking in Jay's direction. Why? Because not only did Pimp tag her woman and make a tape, but the whole situation had Jay's MO written all over it.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. And Pimp like, I'm not going no mother Trinidad, shoot up goddamn video. Because he had just bought a new car. He had a new lady friend at the time. And he felt he didn't want to leave the situation to go do the video.
Jay had more than one reason to be mad at Pimp. Two teamed up in 1999 for Big Pimpin', which became a massive hit. But behind the scenes, things weren't great. In a 2005 interview with MTV, Pimp said, "It sounded like a pop record to me. I didn't want to do it. Scared me because I didn't know how people was going to take us going in that direction. But I remember Jay telling me, look family, it's going to be the biggest record of your career. If you don't do it for yourself, just do it for me." That was good enough for me, so I jumped on it. You'd think they'd get along after that hit, but Pimp never liked Jay. And he didn't hide it. According to Bun B, when it was time to shoot the video, Pimp played them.
"Who's that with?" I said, "With Rockefeller." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook he's writing out. He was like, "Ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit." I was like, "What?" And
yes, he only did it because he wanted to mess with Jay. But why the beef? Well, it turns out Pimp wanted Jay to do right by Pac. He wanted him to give $1 million from the collab to Pac's mom. Sadly, Jay heard everything. And if there's one thing Jay hates, it's when someone questions his power. But that's not even the full story. Pimp started exposing the truth about how Jay and Diddy operated in the music world. In an interview, he said he knew how they moved and made it clear he didn't want to be a part of that lifestyle because he was a family man.
Ain't never been. And watch this, Bun. I'm gonna say this too, you niggas out there think this shit is cool, because it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes.
Joe, to see a Puffy on any of them niggas. Yeah. They been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big.
Yeah. Pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. If you're in a room naked with some other and some broad and looking at your ass, and if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. You know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, Bun, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow.